Hey there, what's up, and welcome to another tutorial. And in this tutorial, I will be showing you how to create a grid view. So, what was time? Let's get started. And I have already opened our project. So, we have to work with the XML file, and we're just going to first get into another layout, that linear layout. There we go. And first of all, I want here to just show a text, and for that I'm just going to use the text view, and it's going to be wrap content, and I will write something, and for that we're going to go to text, and as we're going to use the grid view, so I want to use this right here, like a list of items or something like that. So list of item. There we go. So whatever we have just written here will pop up right here on the screen, and we're just going to use a color of the text, and it's going to be white. So text color, okay, so it's going to be like white, and there you go, you can't see anything. Basically we're just going to make the width as mass parent, and I'm just going to set a background in the text view. Background. Okay, so background is going to be like, I'm not sure, probably blue. Yep. And I'm just going to set I'm just going to just send this text at the center. So for that we're just going to use gravity center. There you go, you can see here, I guess, at the center. And I'm just going to use padding. Padding is going to be 20 dp. dp means density pixel. And there you go, we have just got a cool text here with a blue background, and at the bottom of this text we're going to set our grid view. So for that I was going to make a grid view here, and it's going to be a wrap content and wrap content, and we have to set the ID is GV, grid view. If we just make it mass parent, then probably we will get to see this. Okay, the problem here is I didn't set the orientation, so you can see the grid list here. So for that we have to set the orientation to be vertical. It's going to be vertical. There we go, so you can see all the items here. And we have to work more on the grid view, so I'm just going to set I was going to set the column So for that, so num column is going to be 3, and I want some room around the item, specifically in horizontal and in vertical. So I'm just going to use vertical space. Vertical spacing is going to be like 4 dp, and horizontal spacing is going to be 6 dp. Okay. No, 4 dp. Okay, great. And I'm just going to set the background. Probably the light blue, like this. I don't like this color. Okay, probably this one. Okay, this is good, kind of. And I'm just going to use the text appearance as well, like text appearance, and text appearance is text appearance large, because I want this to be large, and I'm just also going to make it bold. So the text style is going to be bold. Silver, so gold, and as we're going to make a custom grid list, so we have to make a layout, and we have to use a custom Java class. So I'm going to make another layout to just define that how the list will be shown on the screen. And for that, I'm just going to go to the layout folder, and I'm just going to make another layout, which is going to be our example layout. I'm just going to leave it with the default name, and this is layout, and we're just going to add some pictures and some list. So I have already downloaded few picture, download and Android. So I'm just going to copy paste them in our drawable folder. So where's the drawable? Okay, so these are drawable, and we're just going to paste it just right here, and we have got list of items here. And then I'm just going to make a string array, and I'm just going to name it like social, and I'm just going to add few items here. Item. Okay, so I'm just going to copy paste this code, and I'm just going to set the item, like the first item is going to be Facebook, next one is going to be Google, third one is going to be Twitter, and the last one on the list is going to be YouTube. There we go. And I'm just going to go to the layout, and I'm just going to basically the way I want it. I first of all just set an image view for that. I'm just going to go to image view, wrap content, and we're just going to go to get an access of an image, and we have Facebook. Okay. And I want this layout to be vertical. So I'm going to set the orientation as vertical, and I want to set the layout margin, and it's going to be like 10 dp, and I want to, what else we can do? Okay, so I'm just going to set an ID here. ID is going to be like IV, image view. Okay, so you can just use any ID you want. There is no restriction in using any ID, but you have to make sure that you have ID. So we have ID in our grid view. We don't need ID in our text view. And I'm going to create a text view here to add another text. I want to set it as Facebook. Okay, so text is going to be Facebook. Okay, and I want to use the layout merging and bottom. The merging bottom is going to be 10 dp as well. And I think that's it. Cool. That's the layout exactly we want. And now we have to use a custom Java class, basically, as well as working on a grid view. So we have to use a custom adapter for that, which will give us few overridden methods and allow us to turn this layout into a view so that it can be discernible. Okay, so I'm coming back within 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back, and I got a problem. So we're just going to create a class, and I'm going to create a Java class right here, and I'm just going to go to, so how can you just create a class? So you have to go to Java, then you have to go to the first one, and then you have to just click on this one, com.example.user.gradeview, and just right click on it and new and Java class. I'm just going to name it custom adapter .java. So there we go. So this is our custom adapter class, and this class is going to inherit another class, which is base adapter, and is basically saying that you have to implement all the methods of the base adapter class, which are really handy. And here you have to just work with all this overridden method, and this is going to help you to make everything possible, like from turning the layout into view. Okay, so you will get to do everything here. and the number of items are there. So exactly the get count method is going to detect the number of items are there in your list. This one is going to return the position, this one is going to return the position as well, and here is going to basically return a view of the layout. Okay, so we're good to go, but before we get into this class, we have to go to the main activity, and we have to just declare a few variables of certain classes. Say the first one is our grid view. So I'm just going to create an object of the class grid view, and I'm just going to name it as GV. And okay, so we have to get the ID of this grid view object. So I'm just going to use a method here which is find view by ID, and this is what is going to get the ID for this object of grid view class. So basically we're just going to extract the ID from resource. So we have to use this R with a resource and ID dot GV. Okay, so it's showing an error because it's basically saying that you have to typecast this one. So if we just put our caret anywhere on this, and if we just press Alt and Enter, so it's saying cast to Android widget dot grid view. So if you just click on that, there we go, the error is gone, and it has been casted as grid view. What is called typecasting. Okay, so we are going to make an string that will contain all of our list. So I'm just going to create a string, and I'm just going to name it item. You can name it anything you want, and I'm just going to get it from the resource as well. So I'm just going to use a special method of get resource dot get string array, and in the string array we're just going to get an access to our array that we have just created in our string. So if we just go to string, then we will get to just see the name of our array, which is social. That's the name. So array basically is an array, so we are just telling you that it's our array, and there we go, we have just got the name social, and there we go. Again, we have to create another array of the pictures. So basically we're just going to get this pictures, and just going to store it in an array. So it's going to be integer, and it's going to be image, and so we're just going to set all the images in order. So it's going to r.id, r.drawable because it's in drawable, dot Facebook. Okay, then r.drawable dot Google, then r.drawable dot Twitter. Get the hell out of it. And r.drawable dot YouTube. Boom. And there we go, you can also see the picture the added picture like Facebook, Google, and Twitter, and YouTube. Okay, so we're just good to go, and we're just going to make an object of this class here, and we're just going to pass few arguments to the constructor of this class. So I'm just going to create an object of this class, custom adapter equal to new custom adapter, and we have to set few things there, and we have to set adapter as adapter. Okay. So we're just going to get back to our custom class, and we're just going to use create our constructor as custom adapter. There you go. And we need few things to declare. The first one is our activity, because every time we have to tell that in which activity we are on, basically. So we are on the main activity. So for that, we are just going to use the context, and we're just going to make an object of this class, and then a string that we're going to pass from main activity. So I'm just going to name it like item, and images. Okay, is an array as well, and images. Okay, so what I was going to copy and paste them in the constructor as parameter. The is string item and the image. There we go. Okay, cool. And we have to set all these things. So context this dot context equal to context, and this dot name item equal to item, and this dot image is equal to image, and that's it. And we're going to set the length of the items as long as the size of the item and image are uniform. So we can use here any of the two, either item or image. I'm just going to use the item dot length, and this will set the position, and this will return the position, and and we come here in this view. Basically, this view is going to turn our layout into a view so that it gets visible. So we're going to set here if convert view equal to null. Then, because we haven't yet created any of the view, so it is completely null, and this is evidently true. And we're just going to set if this one is null, then we're just going to create a view here, and for that we have to basically we're just going to inflate our layout here. So So we need uh, layout inflator. We need an inflator, and I'm just going to name it as inflator. And this inflator in this inflator is going to set like context dot get system service and layout inflator service, and we have to obviously typecast it as layout inflator. Okay, and this will now help us to inflate our layout. So we're going to use a special method which is inflate. That's going to inflate our layout. Basically, it requires two variable. It requires two argument. The first one is layout rest in resource, and the second one is nullable view group root. So the first one is our layout that we have just created. Layout, this one. Okay, and the next one is going to be done, and we must keep this one in our convert view. So convert view. So we have basically initialized our convert view with this. So this is our first view. So when this one is null, then we have got this view. Okay. Now we get an access to our layout, and we are now able to use whatever are there in this layout. So basically, there is an image view and text view. So where is it going to use that? And we will get to use that because we have already turned this layout into a view, and we can also set our image and the text. So for that, I'm just going to create this is our main activity. So for that, I'm just going to create class. The first one is image view, and I'm just going to name it image view equal to, and this time we have to find out the ID, but as long as the image and the text also are going to be shown on the screen. So, and we have already just turned the layout into our view, so we have to get an access to the image and the text from our view. So for that, I'm going to use convert view dot find ID and r dot ID. I have no clue what the ID is, so I didn't set an ID here. ID is going to be txt, and I have set here. Okay, so our ID dot txt, and we have to typecast it. Disable inspection. What's the problem? Okay, our ID is txt t1 baby. T1. Okay, there we go. Okay. and we have to set the text view, and it's yep. Oh my goodness, we have made a blunder. This is our image view, but we have used the ID of the text, so it's showing us an error. I mean exception. So what is our ID here? Is IV. Okay, so it's going to be IV. There you go. And we're going to get our text view. Text view. Text view. Text view. Text view equal to convert view dot find view by id or dot id dot our t1, and we have to typecast it. What the heck is wrong? Okay. So we have to typecast it as text div, and now we have to set this image and we have to set this text. Pretty simple. Okay, you need to get over it. It's not quite difficult. It's very simple. And I'm just going to set the image first. Image view dot set image resource, and our image is image which is basically our array, and we're going to set the position as index. And the next one is text dot get text, I mean set text, and is going to be the item dot item and position. Okay. And the most important thing, which is really paramount to set, is our view, that this method is going to return a view, and if you don't return any view, you are not going to see anything literally. So we're just going to set the view, and our view is now convert view. Okay, so we are good to go, and we are going to go to main activity, and I'm just going to pass all that parameter that we have used in this custom class in the constructor. So basically the first one is context. Context means our activity, so we are going to basically use the object of the main activity. The next one is the item, and the last one on the list is image. So the first one is I recon item, and the next one is our image. There you go. And if everything is okay, I believe that I'm just going to see the grid view. Okay, so hopefully everything is okay. Hopefully, if I make a mistake, then I'm not responsible for this. God bless me. Hopefully it's gonna work, I dare say. Oh, I'm getting so excited. No, it's going to crash. It's gonna crash. It's gonna crash. Oh no. Okay, we have got our view. We have got everything. Thank you so much. Okay, so we have this. If we just select this one, we can select. But I want this to set a little bit away from this list of items. So I was going to use the I was going to use I was going to go to layout, and I was going to padding. I was going to use padding. Padding probably 10 dp is probably 40. I'm not sure, but let's check it. Okay, so we can see here, like, this is pretty cool, and I'm going to set it even more, 20. Okay, now we hit the play, and there we go. It's cool. But what I want is every time I will be clicking on any item, I want a different color to pop up. So how can I do that? This is pretty simple. We're just going to go to our activity.main XML, and we're going to go to list view, and we're just going to use the list selector. So list selector. So we're just going to set the color basically white, and there you go. And again, I'm just going to play, and there you go. This is pretty cool. Cool. And I'm just going to use another thing, that's toast. And you know what does that mean? It means something will pop up. Something will pop up right here. So I'm just going to use I'm just going to go to main activity, and I'm just going to use the gv.set on item click listener and new, and on item click listener. Okay. So every time I'm just going to use a toast here, and toast will just make anything pop up, and we have to use the get application context, and in here I'm just going to set the name of the array. Name of the item that will be extracted from our array and will be shown right every time we'll just click on any item. So I'm going to simply concatenate the name of this string, and for that we have the string here, which is item. So I'm just going to set item and position. So what is going to happen here is, so we have got a problem here. Nope. Is it a problem? Yep, it is. So we have probably what's the problem? Item is accessed from with. Okay, there you go. And the problem is we are trying to get an access of this item which belongs to an inner class. So how can I solve this problem is I'm just going to set is as a field variable of the main class. The main activity is our main class. So I'm just going to make the array just right here, item, and there you go. We're just going to just initialize the item here, and our problem is gone. Okay, again, I'm just going to hit the play button, and every time we'll just click on any item, something will pop up, which is okay, it's saying Facebook. So we have a problem here, which is like we have get the text a little bit away from our item, which is not set correctly. So I'm going to set it correctly. So the problem is right here, and basically what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to use the Android layout left to be like 10 or 20. 20 seems to be perfect. There you go. And okay, we got a problem here. Only 20. Okay. We have to use density pixel. Hopefully it's going to work. Okay, now there is no error. So exception. Okay, so so we're just good to go, and we have just created really good looking, and the credit goes to me, by the way, a good looking software, which is Twitter. So every time you're clicking on this one, so is the name of the item is going to pop up. So if you just hit Facebook, Facebook will pop up, and if you just hit Google, the Google will pop up. Twitter will pop up. YouTube and YouTube will pop up. Okay, so that's how this view. You can add as many items as you want, and I have just included the 4 item, and that's it. That's how you can use the grid view, and you can set items. You can have fun with this one. This is really cool. Okay, whatever, and that was it for the timing. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial, and okay, I will be coming back with another tutorial probably if I'm still around in the future, and I will be seeing you guys soon. Till then, chill out.